I think a lot of people are beginning to notice that the contraceptive mentality is the beginning of the pride mentality, because the contraceptive mentality divorces sex from the consequences of sex. It introduces a sterile sexual ethic, which is exactly what gave us the pride movement. There's no distinction here. If you can't read between the lines, the conclusion that one draws is that condoms are kind of gay. To put it as bluntly as possible, okay?
Yeah, I think for issues like this, I think that the dumbest people in America should be driving the conversation. I think that issues of sex and contraception should be generally talked about by people who kind of look like they've never had good sex and certainly have never participated in another person having good sex. I think that's how we should be running this sort of thing. Hey guys, is having straight sex gay? Huh, fellas? What the hell is going on in America? Now, look, the way that he's delivering that is ridiculous. Of course, by design, his job is to simply take up space in the media sphere so that nothing will happen, nothing will change, and the financial backers of him and other people who are exact clones of him will continue to dominate. That's why politics is always absurd when they discuss it. But to be clear, there is substance here. He is part of a movement that has said, okay, we were able to annihilate abortion rights in a number of states. What can we do next? Contraception. Your ability to legally have contraception should no longer exist. And he's being very clear. He goes on, if you watch the full video, which definitely don't if you value your time or your sanity, he says there should be no right to use condoms inside of a marriage even. The government should be able to ban you from wrapping up your dong. That's how big he wants government to be. The people that used to talk about small government want it in your pants. They want positions are acceptable and which are not. There's never been a government as big as they want it to be if that advances the interests that they have. Jessica, what do you think?
Yeah, the fellas, is it gay to bang chicks safely? This is just ridiculous. It's so absurd. And I think my favorite stories, John, are the ones we do where you say this is substantively important, but the deliverer of the message is insane. It's the best kind of a story. And I think you're absolutely right. And it's fair to say, given the absurd nature of what he's communicating, to say the people who deliver messages like this oftentimes look like the people who have the absolute worst sex. And I don't think that's a coincidence, because they quite literally don't care about less people having sex. They don't care about people having safe sex. They don't care about people having good sex lives, because they have no idea what's that like. So they can't empathize. So they just make it a larger political point.
Yeah, and look, we're gonna mock him or whatever. Like, it makes the story fun. I fundamentally don't care about what he says or what any of them say, because they don't care about what they say. Do they believe some of this stuff? Maybe. There's a very tenuous relationship between what they believe or used to believe and what they say. They are cogs in a corporate machine. That's what it is. They might call themselves independent media. They're funded by the exact same people that own all the right-wing news networks and all that. So I don't care so much about him, but I do care about the next phases of this war. The right knows that people are not on their side in this crusade. They were never able to convince a majority of the country of their position on abortion, and they don't care because they don't care about democracy. They're not interested in what people believe. They're interested in advancing their interests. That's it. And so they got that. They were able to annihilate your right to bodily autonomy, and now they're moving forward. And usually the purveyor of those messages on the right are conservative women. There are a lot of conservative women who have made big names for themselves on the speaking circuit and on TikTok, saying that women should either willingly opt out of using birth control and those sorts of things, or that it should be barred legally. The government should block you from doing that. And then of course, they don't believe in surrogacy, they don't believe in IVF. Like, they wanna go way farther than they already have. We know how much damage it's done to them politically, but they think that it's in their interest. They seem to think it's still a winning issue, at least to talk about, Jessica. What do you make of these next phases in this war?
Right, they're like, how do we get people to not do something? Let's tell them it's gay. Are we middle school boys? I mean, come on. Not only that, but middle school boys in like the 70s, like a lot has changed since then. But you can wear a condom, you just have to say no homo before you put it on, and you're fine, fellas, no big deal, problem solved. Yeah. It's definitely a part of this larger conversation we've had very seriously about, we want to have more people in Western countries. They very much want them to be white, right? This birth dearth thing. That's at the heart of this. They want people to be having babies because at the end of the day, it's a bit of a conversation about eugenics. That's at the heart of this. That's why they want to ban contraceptives, including condoms, which is ridiculous.
100%, yeah. They want like as many nice white babies as possible, but they don't care to give people the economic stability necessary to be ready to bring, the next generation in. And they don't believe in sustaining the capacity of Earth to have humans live on it. Like they're basically saying like, hey, here's an oven. How'd you like to have a baby in it? That doesn't seem like the best strategy, but they think that, I guess if they just call people gay enough, they won't notice that we're baking. There really is, I say this a lot, and at some point we're going to, in a more sustained way, provide a counter to this. There is, as many really pathetic men on the right say constantly, there is a crisis among young men, and young men do desperately need help. And unfortunately, the people who are providing the help are the worst sort of pathetic grifters who are scared of their own shadow. They're scared of literally anyone who's different than them in even a subtle way. They do need help, and by God, they're not getting it right now. Just being called gay so that you get gonorrhea or whatever is not the solution to the problems that young men are facing in America or in other countries.
Yeah, they're like, have a bunch of babies, live a lifetime of toiling and having your labor exploited, your children as well, or else you're gay. At this point, being gay sounds pretty nice. I'm gonna pick gay.
It does, it actually sounds pretty good. It sounds more sustainable.
For more political news breakdowns, interviews, stories of activism, and me trying my hardest to care about the occasional big celebrity news story, subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/The Damage Report. And you can ring the bell wherever it is so you don't miss anything.